I'm not eating this necessarily because I'm hungry. It's mainly because I'm fucking pissed that Team Envy fucking got joked out of that shit. What is going on, guys? It's Suspect here, bringing you guys a brand new YouTube video. Now, by the time you are watching this, it is Championship Sunday for MLG Anaheim. In case you guys don't know already, I am a competitive Call of Duty player, so I try to watch the pro scene as much as possible. I find it very, very entertaining, but that is beside the point. Today, just really quick, it is now 2:30 in the morning. The tournament just ended for the day of Saturday, and I kind of wanted to give my opinion on predictions, I guess you can say, without being biased and, you know, just being truthful, being as truthful as possible with how I truly think that Sunday will end up. So I do have pictures of the brackets down below or on the side or up top. I don't know where I'm gonna put it yet, or maybe you won't see my face, but you know what, fuck it. Here you see the entire bracket, and I'm just up here in the corner, don't mind me. Anyway, I'm looking at the bracket right now, and as you can see, in losers round 1, you did have Complexity 3-0 Incision. H2K did get 3-0'd by Complexity, thus knocking out H2K. Echo Fox did make it by knocking out TSM, and then they get 3-1 by FaZe. 100 Thieves did not win a single map this weekend, which is that's actually pretty disappointing, if I'm very honest. And C9 Eclipse actually goes up against DT. DT then wins in game 5. Then you got Kingdom Esports versus Millennium. Millennium just pretty much after open bracket, they really didn't show up at all. That was pretty disappointing, if I'm honest. And then Kingdom Esports ends up facing Lethal Gaming. Lethal Gaming advancing to losers round 3. DT beating C9 Eclipse in game 5, like I had said, going up against Luminosity for Championship Sunday. FaZe Clan 3-1s Echo Fox for advancing to round 3 in losers bracket. And then Complexity 3-0 H2K now brings them to round 3 of the losers bracket. So now, as you guys can see, you guys can clearly read, but in case you're just listening to me, because I know I do that a lot of the times, you do have Complexity going up against Cloud9 in losers round 3. You got Splice versus FaZe Clan, DT versus Luminosity, and Team Envious versus Lethal Gaming. Complexity unfortunately did not get off to a good start, same as FaZe Clan. I was like, for some reason I expected like Complexity to like not get off to a good start, but I didn't expect them to do as, you know, bad as I thought they would. But going into the losers bracket, it looks like they picked up some momentum. They're on hot 3-0s at the moment. Hopefully they can go ahead and get some momentum going against Cloud9. Cloud9 has been struggling in the CWL. In case you guys watch or don't watch, they've been struggling a little bit. Complexity, I don't know what their placement is, but I know that they have a lot to prove. They have a lot of talent on that team, and I'm pretty sure they can do something in order to try and bring it up going into losers bracket round 4. Next on the bracket, you got FaZe Clan versus Splice. Splice did, you know, the European teams, every single European team actually had to go through open brackets, so there is that. Splice actually grinding the hell out of the open bracket, and they actually ended up losing to Team Infused. I will show that bracket after I finish analyzing the losers bracket. And then a FaZe Clan, in case you guys live under a rock or you don't watch competitive Call of Duty whatsoever, FaZe Clan got off to the worst start in MLG Anaheim 2016. They got 0-2 twice, and going into the next day, they actually win both their matches. I forgot what was the other team that they faced. Well, FaZe Clan ended up getting 2 wins out of it today, so now they're facing Splice. And now, like I said, FaZe did get off to an unfortunate start. Hopefully they do pick up some momentum. I know that that team is very emotional, especially with Clayster being my favorite player, and I would really, really hate to see him go out like that. And I really don't think Clayster's going to end up letting that happen. So with that being said, I really, really do hope that this team steps it up going further into the losers bracket. Luminosity got a tough loss against Optic Gaming. That CTF was pretty close, but at the same time convincing. I really don't know how to put it. You know, OG's a powerhouse at the moment. Everybody knows that, and they're put in this unfortunate position. And well, now they're going up against DT. Now, of course, some of you guys probably are wondering how I felt about the Team Envious loss. First of all, I'll be honest, Team Envious did play their search and destroys pretty sloppy, and their uses of the specialist abilities were just absolutely horrendous. Rise did in fact take that into account when they were facing them in both round 11s, and the games were pretty, like, they were tossed up all the time. It was like one win here, one win there, one win here, one win there, and it was just like up and down all over the place. But when it came to actually clutching up, either they misused a specialist ability or they just didn't use a specialist ability at all, which ended up costing them, and now they are going up against Lethal Gaming. Now, my predictions for the losers bracket, I do expect Complexity to go ahead and take it against Cloud9. I don't really want to get into scores so much, or like the series score, but I do think Complexity is going to take it. You know what, I'll be honest, Splice versus FaZe looks like it's going to be a very, very difficult match. I personally want FaZe to win, but that's really a toss-up. You know, Splice being the runner-up at ESWC, but FaZe Clan, they do have a lot of potential, but they need to show up big time. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a toss-up. I do expect Luminosity to take DT relatively easily. Team Envious is off to, like, you know, kind of not a bad start, but they did lose in Game 5 Round 11 to Rise. And like, without being biased, if John and Apathy can continue doing the work that it is that they're doing currently, I'm pretty sure that they can take it against Lethal Gaming, and especially considering that Lethal Gaming's series have been very, very close. Like, yeah, they can clutch up, but they're not like blowouts or nothing crazy, not like Team Envious where they've gotten, you know, a 3-0 already and they've clutched up before. And of course, Apathy's been pretty dominant for the most part throughout the entire weekend, with the exception of the hardpoint game against Rise, but that's how I feel about it. Okay, so now looking into winners bracket. So as you guys can see in the quarterfinals, Optic Gaming took out Luminosity. Rise ended up taking Team Envious out 3-2, Elevate easy 3-1, and Team Infuse beating Splice 3-1. Now, there's no need for introductions. Optic Gaming is just absolutely the favorite when going into MLG Anaheim, and you know, they are really, really hungry for the win. I really think that the loss against Luminosity was pretty unfortunate. Study went absolutely off in game 2. That was really, really sick. But, you know, it's all for nothing if you lose. So, Optic Gaming is now, you know, in the winner semifinals. Of course, Rise Nations versus Team Envious, like I had said before. Team Envious's misuse of the specialist abilities and their sloppiness in, you know, the S&D was really what cost them. And not only that, a hardpoint was absolutely a blowout. That would have helped out a lot. And, you know, if they wouldn't have given up map 2, you know, that would have been an Envy series to take 3-1. But it is what it is. So Rise Nation is now in the winner semifinals. Team Elevate versus Cloud9, pretty convincing win, 3-1. Team Elevate, you know, now in the winner semifinals, like you guys all know, Nagafen's on that team, pretty crafty man. And of course, Splice versus Team Infuse. Team Infuse has actually been very, very dominant, and they've actually surprised me so far. They've either been 3-0s, or this is their only 3-1 actually. They've been 3-0 all over the place. They're actually undefeated in the pool, and now going into winner semifinals, they only have dropped one map, which is very, very impressive. Being an EU team facing some North American teams, that's pretty impressive. So of course, winner semifinals, Optic Gaming versus Rise Nation. As Looney said, if everyone's on top of the game, this can really be a really close match, a really awesome match. But Optic is that team known to have a slow start going into a tournament on Friday, and then they end up speeding up. But going into Friday, they came out balls to the wall. They just held nothing back, and it's just absolutely insane. They've been playing out of their mind, and you know, just Rise Nation really has to make something happen, because they haven't really convinced anyone or myself, like, because everyone's seen Rise Nation as like a top 2 team, but recently they haven't been performing that way, especially in the league. So they would really have to play the way they did before, and we would have to see more from like the submachine gun players such as Slacked and Looney be more aggressive, so that way match up the skill level of Scump. You know, because Scump has been a very dominant player, if I'm honest, all weekend. He always is, but this weekend he's just going insane. So Rise Nation will definitely have to do something out of that. Now, the Team Elevate game versus the Team Infuse game. Team Elevate, I believe, is undefeated in their pool. and they only dropped one map so far, if that is the case. And then Team Infused, like I said, same thing. They are undefeated in the pool and dropping only one map to Spice. This is a really big toss-up, and I can tell you right now that's going to be a great game to watch. An awesome EU team going up against a very crafty, that's how I see Team Elevate, just because of Nagafen, a very crafty team from NA. It's going to be awesome to see. I really am going to watch that game, and I'm going to hopefully dissect it and look at it and, you know, see what it is that they do, because that's just going to be a great game if I'm honest. So my predictions for who I think will be in the top 3, realistically, without being biased, I'll go ahead and let you know. You can't go without Optic Gaming. Optic Gaming, I don't have a hate for Optic Gaming. Like, obviously it's an E-Classico to see Team Envy versus Optic Gaming, and of course I'm a huge Team Envious fan. If you follow me on Twitter, I've literally been tweeting about Team Envy all weekend long. But, you know, they're an interesting team to watch, but I love to see them lose just because they're the powerhouse. But I mean, I gotta say it, man, I have it for Optic Gaming to take the tournament. They've just been looking so dominant, so smart, so clutch, and you know, it'd be very surprising if they didn't take the tournament. I'm gonna be very honest with you, being very honest. I'm actually expecting Team Elevate to place top 2 or top 3 or second or third to this tournament. That's just me personally. They've been playing very confident and very out of their mind, and you know, that's just me. That's just the way I see it. I'll be let's see, for third place, I am, you know what, just a toss up, I actually see Luminosity taking third. I can, you know, just being very honest, I can see Luminosity taking third only because Study has been playing absolutely out of his mind. Saints has also been playing really well, so hopefully if they continue the performance that they've been doing, you know, it'll be very awesome to see them, you know, go ahead and make something happen. And as well as round 4, I'm going to be honest with you, 4th placing, I think Team Envious is going to take 4th placement. If they go further, awesome. If they don't, well then, you know, this is the way it is. They're a very emotional team. They're a team that once they go down hard, and it's really hard to come back. So they got to keep that momentum going in order for them to, you know, be able to advance further from 4th. But, you know, that's just the way it is. That's just what I think. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully my predictions are correct. Hopefully you guys agree with me on some things. I don't know if you have something to say, Gabe. This man's a bandwagon. Alrighty guys, I'll go ahead and be seeing you guys later. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will be catching you guys in the next one.